I wake at 5:47 a.m. The bed is empty. Bethany left at 1:14 a.m. I prefer efficient departures. You see, sleep is a solitary biological requirement. Sharing it introduces unpredictable thermal fluctuations. I feel entirely different towards her absence. I step into the shower for 20 minutes. The water runs off my skin at 104 degrees to dilate pores, followed by 60 seconds at 50 degrees to shock the nervous system into total compliance. As the freezing water hits, I review the audit. 22 minutes. For 22 minutes last night, my intellect was subdued by a synthetic asset. I replay the terrifying fluidity and motion of her assets. My primitive nervous system completely overrode my cognitive sovereignty, creating a violent, humiliating biological response. You see, I'm not angry at Bethany. One doesn't merely blame the counterfeit bill for passing as currency, but I am intently focused on its creator. The extraction happened at 12:45 a.m. She was standing by the mirror, zipping up her emerald Hervire Lagar, while I remained in bed. "That is one incredible ass," I said. My voice was flat, modulated to project primal, unthinking appreciation. She paused. Vanity is the easiest lock to pick. "How much did it cost?" I asked. She smiled at my reflection in the glass. "People are desperate to be caught in their deceptions, provided you praise the deception itself. When you're as popular as I am, it's basically on the house," she confessed. "Dr. Silas Vance, in Miami, he's a genius." I step out of the shower. By 7:30 I'm dressed. Navy suit, kitten. The wool is so fine it feels almost liquid. At 8:45 a.m., I sit at my desk at Halbert & Royce. I open the center drawer and take out a leather-bound ledger. Mont Blanc, fountain pen. Under the heading, I write in measured script, "Dr. Silas Vance." Great suit. I look up. It's Preston. Preston is a managing director of equities. He wears a charcoal pinstripe that fits poorly around the shoulders and holds a matcha latte he only drinks because his trainer told him to. "Kitten," I say. I close the ledger. "Thank you." Preston drops into the leather chair opposite my desk. He sighs, running a hand through his hair that is already thinning despite aggressive chemical intervention. "Did you see the new girl at the reception desk on floor 38? Preston leans in, whispering like he's sharing insider trading secrets. "Flawless proportions. I'm thinking about taking her to La Avenue on Friday." I stare at Preston. He oversees $3 billion in client capital, yet his visual literacy is equivalent to a toddler's. "She has silicone in her chest, Preston," I say, my voice perfectly flat. 350 cubic centimeters placed subglandularly. Her nose was reduced by 4 millimeters at the bridge, and her jawline is currently suspended by PDO threads. Preston blinks. His smile falters. "Come on, she looks natural." "She looks like a poorly zoned commercial development." Preston laughs. He assumes it's a joke. He is a willing consumer of the fraud. Preston leaves to take a call, and I turn to my monitors. I type the name Dr. Silas Vance. The search populates immediately. Sponsored advertisements, 5-star reviews written by bots, a meticulous curated clinical Instagram page. I click on the first video thumbnail just as the door opens once more. "Excuse me." It's Evelyn, my assistant. She holds a tablet. She is wearing a beige polyblend skirt. The synthetic fabric offends me. "You have the partner's lunch at Le Bernardin at 12:30, she says, reading her screen. "Your 2:15 acquisition meeting is moved into conference room B, and your tailor called about the alterations to the vicuña coat." I don't look away from my monitor. On the screen, a woman is sitting on her bed with an architectural anomaly that actively hijacked my optical receptors. "Did I request an auditory summary of my schedule, Evelyn?" My voice cold. She stops. The color drains from her face. "No, sir, I just thought—" "You are not compensated to think, Evelyn. You are compensated to manage logistics silently." The office goes completely still. I can hear her breathing erratically. I sigh. Hostility is a leak in the plumbing. It draws unnecessary attention and makes people remember you. I minimize the browser window and adjust the mask. I turn my chair to face her and smile. A perfectly symmetrical, harmless smile. "I apologize, Evelyn," I say. My voice is warm to allow comfort. My blood sugar is low, and I haven't had anything but an espresso this morning. That was entirely unwarranted. She blinks. The tension bleeds out of her shoulders as she's completely manipulated by the sudden shift in temperature. "It's okay," she says quickly. "Should I order you something?" "No, thank you. Just leave the itinerary on the desk. You're doing a great job." She smiles, a genuine, pathetic smile of gratitude, and places the tablet on the glass surface before retreating. The door clicks shut. I drop the smile instantly and return to the monitors. I bring Dr. Vance's Instagram page back up and focus on the image of the woman once more. I've seen her in a few rap videos. She has an entirely unremarkable face attached to a body engineered specifically to trigger biological imperatives. The lengths of which these women go through for attention and capital are staggering. It goes beyond manipulation. It is aggressive, weaponized biology. And yet, even knowing it is completely fabricated, I envy the poor bastards who give to this illusion. They get to experience genuine, uncomplicated desires for a small fee of one's soul. My desire has been replaced entirely by the need for verification. I go back to Vance's portfolio and pull up a video of the rap groupie known as Red. I analyze the video frame by frame. The mass, proportions, and circumference are terribly wrong. All of a sudden, I'm beginning to see red. Millions of young men are paying a monthly subscription fee to worship a structural lie built in Miami by someone playing God. I slowly close my laptop with a methodical click. I leave Howard and Royce around midnight. The city air is dense. I prefer walking when the temperature drops below 55 degrees. It keeps pedestrian traffic to a minimum. I'm wearing a charcoal vicuña coat that Evelyn picked up on her way back from lunch. It's unstructured, obscenely soft, and costs more than the average American earns in 2 years. I turn onto the street in Midtown. The lighting is poor. High-pressure sodium bulbs cast an ugly yellow hue that distorts color perception. A man stumbles out of a recessed doorway. He is intoxicated and unbalanced. He wears a soiled synthetic puffer jacket and smells of oxidized ethanol and decay. He blocks my path, slurring a "hey" as he reaches out with a trembling hand. His fingernails are jagged, black with urban grime. He's an environmental error and a stain on structural society that's been ignored rather than corrected. My right hand slips into my coat pocket. My fingers wrap around the carbon steel surgical scalpel I carry with me. He steps forward, His hand grazes the wool asking for money. My movement is frictionless as I step inside his guard, pivoting on my left heel to utilize his own momentum and drive the blade upward, entering just below the sternum, angling at a precise 30 degrees to sever the descending aorta. He gasps, a wet mechanical failure of his respiratory system. His eyes widen, suddenly flooded with a terrifying clarity he hasn't possessed in years. I twist the handle, ensuring total structural collapse, and step back smoothly to avoid the arterial spray. The dark fabric of my coat is perfectly suited for low-light environments. He collapses onto the wet pavement. He twitches once and then becomes entirely symmetrical in his stillness. I take a look at my pulse, a soft 74, before I wipe the blade on his synthetic nylon of his jacket. The fabric tears slightly. Cheap. Just like those OnlyFans models with disfigured proportions, correction is needed now more than ever. But as I look down at the man, I recognize a profound difference. This man was a passive error, a victim of a market that simply didn't value him. His decay, while offensive to look at, was at least organic. He didn't pretend to be anything other than what he was, a depreciating asset.